So tonight, Josh had asked me to share. In case you're new here, my name's Devin, and Josh actually, he had some things going on tonight. He wasn't able to be here, but he asked me to share on something that's literally one of the greatest things that I think that if we get in our hearts, it can transform your life. It can change your life. So if you're out there, listen with an open heart and just say to yourself, man, God, what do you want to do in my heart tonight? What do you want to reveal to me? Because we're going to be talking about relationships. We're going to be talking about just the people around us. Because I believe the people around us can impact the whole course of our lives. I love the verse over in 2 Timothy 2:22. It says to pursue God with others that call on him with a pure heart. Pursue God with others. Everyone say with others. A lot of times we get into this mindset where like, I can do this on my own. If I just, hunker down, seek the Lord, like go to church. I don't need anyone else, just me and the Lord. If that's true, the Bible wouldn't say to pursue God with others that call on him with a pure heart. Over in, Genesis, Adam's in the garden and God says it's not good for man to be alone. And yeah, it's talking about relationships there in context, but I think we can just take that truth that it's not good for us to be alone. We need other people. God's put other people in our lives for a reason. And I think if we really open our hearts up to that, if you're in this place and you say, hey, I don't need any of this. I come to you and I walk straight out and I'm good. Just open up your heart tonight. Maybe just put it in neutral and just listen to what we have to say up here. And I believe that God can transform your life. I've met some of my best friends through groups here and through just getting involved. So I believe God's gonna do something special, and I believe that God's gonna move on some hearts, and I believe that lives are gonna be changed. So I actually have a couple of friends. I'm asking them to come up here on the stage. Everyone give it up for them. Sorry, we can't figure out which stool is which. But man, these are some of my best friends up here. And these guys, oh, you're welcome. Man, these guys are awesome. And they're some of the best leaders here at the U. We actually have everyone here is like the best leader. God's blessed us with some amazing leaders here at the U. But these guys are going to be leading some of our U groups, which are about ready to launch. And I believe God's going to do something big. So I'm going to ask you guys to go down the line and just say just your name and something interesting or fun fact about yourself.
All right. Well, my name's Christian Schaffner. I'm 23 years old. Something interesting. I started a social media marketing agency with a friend of mine, Nathan. He's actually here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nate, where are you at? Is Nate here?
There he is. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Nate.
So yeah, that's me.
Hey guys, I'm Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hey guys. My interesting fact, I guess, Jessica Day from New Girl is my spirit animal. So if anybody can relate, holla at your girl. She's like a really awkward teacher, and so am I. So yeah, this is my 4th year teaching kindergarten, and I coach cheerleading too, so yeah.
All right.
I think, yeah, okay. Hi guys, I'm Octavia. Thanks for all my #1 followers on Twitter. I'm kidding. My fun fact, I was gonna say something else, but I guess I'll just say this. I can speak in Spanish. It's not like...
Do it right now. Prove it.
It's hola. Hello is hola. Hola, todos personas aquí. Dios es muy bueno.
Sí, señor. That's as far as my Spanish goes. Oh, and Jesus.
How are you guys? My name's Jake.
Where's the fist pumps at?
All right.
Where are you guys at?
Fan club, nice.
Yeah.
There we go, fist pump. I guess I like to hunt, so I just decided, interesting, it's like fall time's coming up, so hunting season's coming up, so I figured I'd just let you guys know I like to hunt deer. Not humans.
That's called murder. That leads to prison. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna ask these guys a couple of questions just about relationships, about friends, about the groups they're about ready to launch. And don't take this as like, oh, they're trying to promote groups. I hate these messages. No, our whole heart behind this is, man, we believe that, like I said a second ago, I'm getting tongue-tied. Godly community is what changes lives. When we all go through things, if we don't have anyone by our side to help lift us up, we're gonna fail, we're gonna fall. And I love the story. Austin shared it a little bit earlier. If you guys, what am I doing tonight? If any of you were in the United, Austin shared an amazing message talking about the paralyzed man who was on a mat, and he couldn't get to Jesus on his own, but he had four crazy friends that were willing to say, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get you to Jesus. I'm gonna tear apart this roof. I'm gonna lower you down. Because just think about that. That'd look weird, right? Like, just picture like we're up here and all of a sudden this guy starts like descending and we're like, it's just weird. We need friends in our lives that are willing to look weird and do whatever it takes to get us to Jesus. We need friends that are willing to stay up on the phone to 2 a.m. with us and say, hey, I don't care what you're going through. I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna lock arms with you. We're gonna do this together. But if you just walk in and out these doors, you'll never have that. You'll never have that. But I believe in this place tonight, God's working on some hearts, and God's saying, hey, you do need other people alongside you. So without any further ado, we're gonna jump right into these questions. So let me ask you guys this. Kate, let me ask you this question. How has being in a group as a leader or just like being in a group in general, how's it impacted your life?
Yeah, so I've been a part of a group here at the U for a couple years now, leading them, co-leading them, and just being around other group leaders has been super impactful in my life. I think just having girls in my corner that are sitting there talking to me like Christ would if he was the one sitting at that coffee table with me is so vital. Let's be real, like we need real talk if we want real relationships. And so just having that opportunity that the U has like fostered and like gave the opportunity to us, I think has really changed me and has gotten me through lots of different tough seasons through my life. But yeah. That's
great. That's great. Jake, you got anything to add?
Yeah. So I just got the opportunity to lead with a group. A lot of the guys are actually in here. It was a really fun group, but I had an opportunity to be involved with a group as well. And I think out of all of that, what I tried to figure out what happened most in my life as far as like influence was, I feel like God softened my heart through all of that so much as a man, especially. I feel like we can put up barriers and we can kind of have layers that we really don't let people see, and we kind of put on that tough guy persona. It really softened my heart to be vulnerable with people and have personal relationships with people. And so yeah, I just feel like God desires that with us, so we can mirror that to other people, And I think you're to be a bridge builder between people that don't know Jesus, so that when you can be personal with them, you can build that bridge and let Jesus walk across that. You don't always have to be in their face witnessing hardcore. You can kind of just develop personal relationships with them and grow together. So
that's awesome. Octavia, do you have anything you might want to add to that? Possible? That's Spanish, by the way.
Yeah. Wait,
it probably wasn't.
I was just thinking up here. I was in a group, like my first group leader is right next to me. I just thought of that while I was sitting up here. And then I lead 2 groups myself now. But I guess just having community with people is like super important. Relationships in general, like we say like, oh, we're really big about relationships at the U. Like, no, we're really big about relationships at the U. I don't know why I emphasized it to say it again, but it's just because like we are really big about relationships. So whenever like somebody comes up to you and says hi, it's not just them saying hi, it's them wanting to like get a sneak peek into your life and see like what it is more about, so that way they can know your heart and know you. So that way like they can turn it towards God, and then when they need you for something and they get down in the trenches with them, that you're there for them. Because I know like my group, my girl's amazing, hashtag holla if you hear me, but they like get down in the trenches with each other. If somebody's going through something, we have a group text, people are like, oh, let me pray for you for that. And to be vulnerable enough to share like your troubles with people is not something, it's not a small thing. And so as having a group and having people that are in your corner and that can fight with you through like this, like all tough seasons of life. Life is crazy, people crazy, shoot. When you have people up in your corner, it makes it better. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great, Octavia. Life's always better when we do it with others. And I love the verse over in, I think it's over in Proverbs, it says, as iron sharpens iron, so one friend sharpens another. So we're called to sharpen each other. We're called to help each other be all that God's called us to be. And Christian, like when you think of that verse, iron sharpens iron, what comes to mind?
Yeah, so what's really cool about groups is that it brings a group of people, obviously, and we're all different. And so it brings a different group of people together that, you know, we have different home lives, different interests, different things that maybe we struggle with, or different weaknesses and strengths that I have strengths that I can help someone out with that has a weakness that maybe they have a strength and they can help me out. But definitely through groups, my weaknesses have been strengthened just with my friends because it's hard to open up for me. I like to kind of keep to myself. I'm sure a lot of people are like that too. I've always been like that since high school. But in my group setting, there's like a comfort there that I have people in my corner that are there that I'm able to talk to. So it's awesome. And so, like Devin said, it sharpens me because it helps me open up, and then helps me, even outside of the group, open up to family members and friends too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love Christian's group because if any of you guys have ever been a part of it, I met some of my best friends through there. Like I met these guys, the Ryans up in the front row. Everyone give it up for these guys.
Hey.
So, literally some of my best friends. Zach, don't stand up. That's weird. Zach Matheny, where are you at? Zach, are you in here? I met Zach for the first time. I think it was the first time in Christian's group. It's literally incredible. Some of my best friends I've met through these groups. So Jake,
Yeah.
Jake, what do you think about that? Iron sharpens iron.
So I was going to talk more about just growing together and allowing your friends to sharpen you. And I think sometimes we can like go into a group thinking like you're going to benefit the most, like you kind of, and that's okay, because I think when you're new, that's kind of what you're desiring is relationships like that. But you never know what you can bring to the table and what you can give someone on the opposite end, you know? And I think like not realizing it, being a leader, but like the guys in my group had influenced me more than I ever thought or could have imagined, you know? So I think growing together is so important. And like some of my best friends that are here tonight, you know, we've gotten to know each other on a really deep level and a personal level, but we've made a lot of mistakes together. You know what I mean? So I think growing together and allowing one to sharpen the other, or when one makes a mistake, like Christian said, you know, you have weaknesses and you have strengths, and just bouncing off each other and feeding off each other is always really special. So that's meant a lot to me with those two guys.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool that these guys aren't anything special. These guys are just normal people like you and me. We all make mistakes. We all go through things. And a lot of times we get this mindset of like, okay, I need to be perfect before I get involved with a group, or I need to make sure I get this, and this right, and then they'll accept me, then they'll love me. What are you guys laughing at? I don't know. So
I'm not sure.
You guys,
I'm
basically what I'm
worried.
trying to say is you don't have to be perfect. That just come as you are, and man, you're gonna be loved, you're gonna be accepted, and you're gonna be a part of a group. Jake, you got something?
No.
What do you guys think it looks like to be a good friend? Because the heart of groups is, man, we want to, like we said, develop good, godly relationships. We want to have those good, solid friends in our lives. This isn't just something where you sign up for and you see them like once a week for a couple months and then that's it. But we want to develop good, godly relationships. So just in general in life, what do you guys think a good friend looks like? Kate, do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, so I think a lot of times we always think like what kind of friend we want, but it's really important to think like what kind of friend are you? So I have some questions for you guys to like ask yourself. One, like, are you loyal? Okay, so loyalty is huge in being a good friend. Can whoever you're around, if it's a you group or your friends in general outside of church, like, can they like trust you and confide in you without having fear? That's big. And The next question is, are you honest? Can they have confidence in the words that you say back to them after they confide in you? Like, are you going to be honest with them, or are you just going to tell them what they want to hear or what you want them to think you are? Like, just like you guys were saying about being real, are you going to be honest with them when they confide in you and when you show them that you're loyal? The next question is, are you there? Can you actually be present during your group time? Can we turn off phones? Can we turn off the days even though they're crazy? Can you sit there and actually be present with them? And even when you're not in group, if they text you, can you be present? Can you be there? Even if it's a quick verse like, hey, look this up, or hey, I heard this and thought of you. Can you be there even when you're not physically right there? That's gonna mean a lot to them. And last, are you happy? And I thought that more than anything is, one, are you happy? Do they want to be around you? People don't want to be friends with someone that's always negative, down, but more importantly than just happy, are you happy when your friends are happy and sad when they're sad? I think a lot of times we look around and we'll say someone's our friend, but as soon as they get a promotion, or as soon as they get a good grade, or as soon as they get a boyfriend, you instantly get jealous and you take a step back from them. And they really didn't do anything wrong. They're succeeding, yet you look at them as being a negative impact on your life, when really you could probably learn from their success. So are you happy when they're happy, and are you sad when they're sad?
That's great. Yeah, I think the key to having good friends is being a good friend. So if you're not willing to be a good friend yourself, you can't say, why does no one want to be my friend? Why does no one want to hang out with me? Man, become what you're looking for. If you're looking for good friends, be a good friend to someone else, and you're going to get it back. So Octavia, do you have any thoughts on that maybe?
I always got a thought about something. Sorry, I said I always got a thought about something. So true. So I think to be a good friend, just being yourself, but being your actual self. I don't want to, if you're friends with me, I don't want to be friends with fake you. I don't want to be friends with Barbie you. I don't want to be friends with gangster you. I want to be friends with you.
I do.
The real, broken,
Gangster
messed
you.
up, crazy, unfiltered you. I don't like fake people, sorry. So if you can't keep it real, I keep it real, honestly, y'all all know. So if you can't keep it real and be real, then I feel like you're not a friend. You're trying to be this, mold yourself into something that you think that I want you to be, when honestly, I just want you to be you. And so I think if you can be a good friend and you can be yourself, then you got it going on. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great, Octavia.
Oh, give this back.
Yeah, so friends, literally, we've been talking about, can dictate the whole course of your life. And I love the phrase that says, show me your 5 friends, and I'll show you your future. And I can even look at my own life just over the years, and just the people I've surrounded myself with, and just what God's done through their lives, and what God's done in my own life. And I've seen people surround themselves with people that aren't good. And all of a sudden they start heading down the wrong path, and they start doing things they thought they'd never do. And you can think, I'm good, I'm spiritually strong enough, it's not going to impact me, but it's not true. Who you surround yourself with, who your best friends are going to dictate the course of your life. So when we say things like, show me your 5 friends, and I'll show you your future, Christian, what comes to mind just when you hear that?
Yeah, so when I think of show me your 5 friends and then I'll show you your future, kind of takes me back to high school and kind of the people that I hung out with in high school, and looking back at it now and seeing the friends that I have now versus when I hung out with them in high school. If I would have stayed with that friend group, I probably would have led a double life. In high school, I was going to church all the time, but on the weekends, I wasn't going to church. I wasn't. You would look at me and be like, that guy's not a Christian. But once I started, but I am.
But he
My
is.
name is Christian.
That's his name.
Yeah. But once I started getting involved here, like Devin said, I met some of my best friends here. I've gained lifelong friendships. I can look out here and see tons of people that I'm friends with now that I wouldn't have met if I wasn't involved here. And so it's really, really important to me that that whenever I got involved here, kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, anyhow, I made lifelong friends here, and definitely made me draw closer to the Lord through just getting involved at church. So it definitely shows me 5 years from now, probably going to hopefully make more new friends here. Hopefully more people joining groups that I get to meet, and I'm excited to meet everyone that joins.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. Kate, you got any thoughts on that?
Nope. Sorry.
Microphones are coming from everywhere.
Yeah, actually, friends have been super important in my life personally. I didn't grow up in a home where it was like super encouraging and a great home life. It was pretty rough, and I depended on my friends to save me. So show me your friends, I'll show you your future was vital, because if I would have looked at my family for my future, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I don't even know where I would be. So I'm just so thankful that God put those friends in my life when I was in middle school and high school, to be like, no, like, come on, come with me. This is what you're worth. This is what God says about you. This is what you can do. And this is what you shouldn't do. And I think that was huge, because I started believing it, and I started coming to church again and hearing those words, and seeing people actually care about you is really, really impactful to how you want to care about others. And so it kind of just like lit a fire under me when I started to get to know these people around me, that I just want to help others like that same way that all these people helped me growing up and saved me from myself and saved me from my family. So I know not everybody's from a bad home life, and you might have really great families, and that's awesome, but you can always learn something from somebody else. You can always learn something from a stranger. So don't underestimate the power of conversation.
That's great. That's great. And I love the verse over in Ecclesiastes, and we've talked about this before, but it just says, if one person falls, pretty much he can't get up. And that goes without saying. But man, if one person is with someone else and he falls, the other person can help him back up. And that's what life's about. It's about that you might fall, you might mess up, but you have friends who come alongside you who say, you know what, I'm going to help pick you up. We're going to do this thing together. We're going to get through this together. But I think a lot of times we can be in a challenging place if we feel like we don't have any friends. We don't have any good, godly friends. And I remember in my own life growing up and just struggling, wanting to be a part of a group and just not feeling accepted. And I remember there was a group of friends I really wanted to be a part of. I think there was a girl in it I had a crush on or whatever. And I just remember talking to them, wanting to hang out, being like little 13-year-old Devin. And I remember they're like, hey, you want to play hide and seek? Which is weird for 13-year-olds to do in general. I should have got the hint. But they were like, hey, let's play hide and seek. And all of a sudden, I'm in my hiding place for forever. And I found out they were just trying to ditch me. It was awful. But I know what it's like to be rejected. I know what it's like just to feel like you don't have any friends. And I love Kate's story that she shared before. It's just that she came into the U and she didn't really feel accepted. And we make it our goal to make everyone feel welcome that walks in these doors. But, sometimes unfortunately it doesn't happen. And Kate said, you know what? I'm not going to stop coming because of this, but I'm going to make it my goal that I'm going to make sure everyone that comes through these doors feels welcome. I'm going to become a part of things, and I'm going to make sure that no one leaves feeling the way I did. And Kate's become literally one of our best leaders. She was on the VIP team for years, welcoming new people coming out. Kate made it her goal that no one else would ever feel alone like she did. I think that's amazing. So if you're in this place and you're feeling alone, you're feeling like you don't have anyone, again, groups is a great way to meet people. And that's not me saying that as a plug for groups, so to make you sign up. That's me saying it as, man, we need other people, and this is a great way to do it. So Octavia, just that thought of just feeling alone, feeling like you don't have any friends, just that aloneness. Do you have any just thoughts on that?
Sorry. Yes. I've had a lot of like ups and downs in my life. In some of those, I had friends, and some of those I didn't. And I can remember in like a big part of my life when my dad passed away when I was in high school, and I thought I had friends, and then it just kind of was funny whenever everything happened, and then like the wind blew and months passed. Then I was sitting at lunch by myself with nobody around me. And I still have, I still talk to people from high school and stuff like that, don't get me wrong. But I do have two really good friends from high school that I can say have always led me back to God. And one of them, I was literally mean to, because I was like, you can't be that nice. Like, people just aren't nice. And she just would, it's okay, like, whatever, like, and would come back to me, and I'm like, okay, I'm real. Like, I was like being so mean, and that's not like, don't do that. It's not cool. But there's moments in my life where I've had friends. There's moments in my life where I hadn't. Also, like, fast forward some years, I went to Ashland University for a year, and I got academically dismissed. And it was super hard for me to encounter that. And so when I moved back home, I came to the U, but previously to going there, sorry, I'm jumping around like a cat. Previously to going there, I was at Ashland, and I could be surrounded in a room with like a bunch of people, but still feel like I was the only like one there. And so you can have friends and still feel like you have none, because you just don't make those connections with people. And so that's why it's so critical for us to live life with people who are for the same things that we're about. And I always said, like, I didn't have that many friends in high school because people weren't about the things I was about. I didn't have that many friends in high school because people just didn't, they didn't want to play with me. So it's like, whatever, it's cool. Jesus loves me, I'm cool by myself. That's fine. So it's like, whatever. But it also, like, if you ain't got no friends, it hurts. Like, so if you are at that point and you're like, well, I don't have that many friends, join a group, you'll get some. And if you are at that point and you're like, I do have a lot of friends, but I really don't make a lot of connections with them, get down to the nitty gritty and like actually peel back some layers and show them yourself and let them show you theirs. Because it's not, you can't, like, people, there's this saying, my aunt said it before, you either have friends for a moment, a season, a lifetime, or for a reason. And every relationship you have is for a reason, granted. But some people, they don't need to be in your life for a lifetime. So some friends you do need to drop. Other friends, they are in your life for a moment. Like, ooh, you let me borrow that book for history class. Thanks, boo, you the bomb. But y'all know who's your friends for a lifetime and who aren't your friends for lifetimes and stuff like that. Y'all, we're all adults here. Like, we've been through some stuff. Obvious. I hope some of y'all have like figured this friend thing out. If you haven't, listen, okay? But it just is for real though. Like, you gotta figure out what friends are your like ride or dies, like for real ride or dies. Like, will be in the trenches with you, ride or dies. Will pick you up when you down, ride or dies. Then the people who are just gonna be like, oh, you following? It's cool. I'm like over here. Like, no, that's not your friend. That's your acquaintance or somebody that you just happen to pass by. So I'm gonna stop talking. So yeah, there you go.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's so crucial you find the right friends and not people that just want to be your acquaintances. That's amazing. And like, I think one of the craziest things I heard, and we don't have a ton of time left, so we're gonna move on to just our last question here. But Jake, I thought it was crazy. You said that when you first started coming here, you just didn't feel like you had a lot of friends here. Yeah. Which, if you know Jake is like the coolest guy ever. Like, everyone needs a Jake in their life. But I thought it was crazy. Jake just felt like he didn't have any friends here. And I remember him mentioning that Caroline, if you guys know Caroline, she's one of the best leaders on the planet. She came up and she started talking to him and just really built that friendship. Like, that's what we need to do. We need to go out of our way to be friends with people, not just do it when it's convenient, but we need to love people unconditionally. So I think that's great, guys. And just moving on to our last question. Again, this isn't just to plug groups, so you sign up for a group. It's to get you in good, godly community. And groups is a way to do it. It's not the end all, but it's a great place to meet people. So you guys are all group leaders. At least that's what I've heard. At least that's what you told me and made the commitment. I don't know. But yeah, just tell us a little bit about what your group looks like. Christian, you want to go first?
Yeah, so Devin's actually a co-leader in my group with me. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Oh,
who is that?
This is me letting you know now.
Just kidding.
So our groups are going to meet up at Tuesdays at 7, I believe, at Starbucks. What that looks like is we're going to soap for an hour, which soaping is not like cleaning with actual soap.
We're going to clean the restroom.
Yeah, it's an acronym. So scripture, observation, application, and prayer. So it's a way to really dig into the word a little bit deeper. So we're going to do that at first, and then afterwards we're going to hang out a little bit because it's super important. And I know Devin thinks it's super important as well to build your group on a foundation for the Bible, but then build in a relationship together because that's how you grow build a strong group.
That's great. So get signed up. You can hang out with us, or if you want to hang out with someone cooler, there's Jake's down there. Yeah. But Kate, what does your group do?
Yeah, so Erin is my co-leader. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
She's great. So we tried something a little different last semester. We kind of talked and we're like, we kind of always go to Starbucks or meet somewhere and go to a coffee shop, same one every time. So I was like, what if we did like a Christ and coffee tour, right? So we like made a list of different coffee shops that weren't Starbucks, like around like Akron and Canton. And it was fun because we got to go to a new coffee shop every time and then like experience that with each other, and then also like experience we soaped as well. Erin and I kind of had like some days we'd have a chapter already prepared. Other times we would just do that random like, okay, everybody open, boom, and then that was the one we picked. And it always ended up being like something crazy relatable, which that's God, so that's awesome. And then on top of that, we would like try to get together and do other things. Like we went and saw Christopher Robin with a group of girls in some of our Connect group, amazing. And do fun stuff like that, just to hang out, go to breakfast. We went to breakfast one time. Just like you said, even though our like meeting wasn't bringing our Bibles every time, and that's what we were starting with, didn't mean that God wasn't in the room. And that our conversations always ended up about God or about our faith or what we were struggling with. So it doesn't have to be a Bible study. Like, just live life together and be there for each other. And God will show up. If you invite him in, he'll show up every time. So, yeah. So
Awesome.
That's good. Kate, can I sign up?
Stop.
Can I sign up?
You can't. You can't.
guys.
Can I sign up?
No.
It just sounds that cool.
Girls only.
Octavia, what you got?
Okay, my water is gone. Jesus help me. Yeah, right. Jesus will provide. Sometimes I really think I'm funny, y'all. So my group, we meet. Okay, so I got two groups. So my group that's all females. We meet every first and third Monday, and we read this book called Discerning the Voice of God by Priscilla Shear. And we just read the chapter beforehand if you have time. Sometimes we just skim, some of us. And no offense to the people in my group that are here. And we just read through the book, and honestly, like, we've grown so much through that book. I have anyways. I think the girls who have been in the group are growing still too. Just because discerning, like, we hear about like listening to God's voice all the time, but it's really hard to actually like sit down and listen to it. And so reading this book has just been like an open door to like how like he speaks to us and how we need to learn how to like quiet ourselves to listen to him. And then my other group is at Akron U. And go Zips. Boo if you're a Roo. Oh, look, Jesus will provide. See, God is so good, y'all. Amen. That was a test. Y'all all failed but him. I'm playing. So I told y'all. I
That
think
was
I'm
awesome.
funny.
Way to go, Jamie. Way
and-
to go not to grab me one.
Right. And so my other group is at Akron, and we meet every second and fourth Monday, because if we met on the first and third, y'all, I wouldn't be there because I'd be at my other group. So we meet at Akron. The location is TBA because we're just so awesome that it's TBA. And it's at 6 p.m. And so there we're just gonna get to know each other and like have community. So yeah.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, the Akron U one is for guys and girls. So if you go to Akron,
sorry, females and males.
if you go to Akron, get involved because we believe God wants to do something great on the campus. And just not to talk too much about it, but our vision with this is it's going to be a small group, but it's going to turn into something much bigger. And we're going to have events on campus to reach people. We're going to do big things. So get involved. It's going to be really cool. So you guys don't want to miss it. And then we're actually going to be having another on-campus ministry up at Kent Stark. So my boy Zach Matheny is going to be leading that on Thursdays, and Cass, Thursdays at 1:30. So guys, make sure if you want to get involved with that, see them out in the foyer. They're going to have a table too. But last but not least, we got Jake on the end. Jake, what does your group do?
We would meet and we would eat pizza. That was always priority.
That is awesome.
And then we would always watch like a sermon series. So we would watch a video and then kind of discuss the video together. And we were more about just like fellowship and having a good time and kind of taking a break from life for a minute and getting around people that you enjoy being around. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Why don't you give these guys a hand? And literally some of the best of the best. And you guys can have a seat. But yeah, thanks so much for being a part of this panel. I believe God wants to do something huge in groups this coming year. So if you're out there and you're on the fringe and you're just saying, hey, I don't know if this is for me, because I know there's two different types of people in here. There's the people that say, yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to be a part of what God's doing here. I can't wait to be a part of good, godly community. And then there's those of us that say, that's not for me. Like that's good for someone else, but that's just not my deal. And I hope tonight that it helped plant the seed that we all do need community, that we do need people in our lives, that when we fall, we can have someone to help pick us back up. We can have someone that says, you are going to make it through this. You can do this. And I want to challenge you with one thing. Just one thing. Just try it. Like, what's it going to hurt if you sign up and you hate it and you never come back? If you sign up and you're like, okay, that was awkward. You wasted about 2 hours of your life? But what if you sign up and it's the best decision you ever made? Man, what if you sign up and it's the one decision that, man, kept you on track with Jesus for the rest of your life? What if you signed up and you met some of your best of friends that someday down the road when you get married, they're in your wedding? Some of the people that walk you through the toughest seasons and laugh with you through the greatest seasons. Man, what if you meet some of the best friends of your life that you just don't know yet? So worst thing that happens, yeah, like you waste 2 hours of your time and you never go back. But the best thing that can happen, literally this could change the whole way you live. And again, this isn't to plug groups and say, hey, let's get a lot of people because that sounds good, that's cool. No, this is because, man, Jesus said we need each other. The Bible says that, man, pursue God with others that call on God with a pure heart. And this is just one practical way that we came up with to do it. This is one way that we found that we can just easily walk out the teachings of Jesus when we have others alongside of us, walking with us every step of the way.